Hello and welcome to the Intersection My YouTube channel. In this video I will show you how to add ASP.NET controls to your form in your ASP.NET website. And so we will go over the creation of a website and how to add these controls to your web form. And please remember, this is part 1. I will do part 2 where I will add validation to these controls, and I will show you step by step how to do that. So let's start. So let's start by opening Visual Studio. As you can see, I'm using Visual Studio 2017. So click File, New Website. Give your website a name. I will give it Forum Validation. Now yours can be Project 1, Lab 1, Lab 2, Lab 3, something that's related to your class. Make sure Visual C# is selected. Click on ASP.NET Empty Website, then click OK. Let me bring in the Solution Explorer. I think I closed it the last time I was using it. So it's Control-Alt-L or View Solution Explorer. So that both of them will lead you to the same place. It's important that you see your Solution Explorer all the time at the beginning because you're still a beginner and you're still learning. Now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to add a form. Add a new item. Web form. I don't have to change this. If this is my first one, this will be my home page or my home form. So I'm going to accept the default. I don't have a master page yet. We haven't learned how to do this yet. So I'm going to click on Add. And now I have my my form created, and it opens on the source code. I made more changes to the HTML5 page to make it really an HTML5. And I added response.write method. So I will extract the date for the user. When they visit my site, they'll see the current date. And write is a method. And so the current space date, this is a string that I want it to be displayed as current space date. And then the plus sign is concatenation. When you concatenate two statements, of course this statement is extracting the date and time from the class date and time, and it will just show the date in shorthand notation. And I will show you that. And then in the bottom here in my footer, I would have the year to be extracted. So I'm assuming my website was created in 2009, and then I have the dash, and this will just pull the current year from your system. So at the end of the year, you don't have to change the copyright footer in your website. So it will show 2009-2017 in our case. I'll switch now to the design view. So by clicking on the design view here, and as you can see, you cannot see the current year here because we're not running this on the server. If we run this on the server, then you will see the current year. And let me show you that. So if you right click here, right click and view in the browser, click and view in the browser. As you can see now, current date is May 29, 2017, and then the copyright Mohammed B. Ali 2009-2017. See, this 2017 is not a static, it's dynamic. And so is the date here, 5/29/2017, is not a static, it's dynamic. So let's add some ASP.NET controls to our web site. And to do this, we need the toolbox. So let's open the toolbox and let me pin this so it doesn't move anymore. So here we go. Let's add label. I'm going to add this label to this section there. and I'm going to right click on the label, go to the property, and give the label a name. I like to have the property sheet in alphabetical order, so I'm going to click on the A to Z there, and I'm going to double click on the ID here, and it's going to be LBL name, LBL for label, and the text would say name, and I'm going to add a text box so the end user will have a place where they can type in their name. So here's my text box, and I am going to go to the property sheet, and here it says text box 1, text box 1 is the default name given by Visual Studio. So I'm going to change this to txt name, and there should be nothing in the text there, so I will leave that like that. I finished all the text boxes that I want to create for my project. I added one for the name, the email, the phone, the password, confirm password, and the age. And if I select, let's say I select this one here, and I look at the property sheet. Let me just move the property sheet a little bit closer here, and you can see this one is, I named it txt email because for the email. This one is for the phone because it's for the phone. This one for password, for the password. This for confirming the password. txt pass1 for the password. txt pass2 is for confirming the password, and then I have one for the age, txt age. And so I did the same thing for the labels. Here's the label email, LBL email. Here's the label for the phone, LBL phone. Here's the label for the password, the LBL pass1, confirming the password, LBL pass2. And the other way to get to these objects there, you don't have to click on them. You can also click on this little arrow and then select them one by one. Here's the age. Here is the labels on the top here, label age. See, when I select them from the property, they get highlighted on the form itself. One more object that we need to do or must do is a button to submit, and let's add one there. So this is very important, and every form should have only one button. Let's go to the property sheet by right clicking, go to the property sheet, and let's just move the property sheet a little bit closer for video sake, and let's change the text to something like click to submit info, and the name of the button is BTN submit. We can add another button to clear our form for the end user. I added another button to clear the form, and I can show you the property for the clear button. I named it BTN clear, and the text on the button itself is clear form. And you can also change their width, for example, all at the same time. So by holding the control key and clicking on each object, and go to the property F4, and I can change things like, for example, are the same for all of them, the height and the width. Let's make the height here to be 175. And even if I don't put the unit here, it will be automatically pixels. See, if I click anywhere, it'll put that px in there for me. So, and they'll all be the same. All be the same width in there. All of them will be the same width. So that kind of like gives it like a nice look. I will stop here and upload this to be as part 1, and I will do part 2 where I will create the CSS first, and if it doesn't get very long, I will also do some coding.